In this video, I'm going to show you how you can automatically back up your WordPress blog. Okay, so what we need to do is go install a plugin. So once you're into your WordPress site, go down to Plugins and Add New. Okay, and then once you're in here, just type in Backup. And we're going to be using the Updraft Plus backup and restoration for WordPress. So this gives you a one-stop solution to back up everything and to restore it also if you need to do that. Okay, so let's click OK. Get that installed here. Let's activate. Okay, now let's go down to settings, and then we're going to go into Updraft backups. Okay, so there's some information on here. It shows your next scheduled backups, last backup job run, and of course we've done nothing yet. Okay, but first we're going to want to go over to settings and determine how we want to do this. Okay, so here we're going to determine how often we can back things up. Now there's a file backup and a database backup. So the file is the actual WordPress install stuff. Okay, so there's no need to back that up all that often. So let's set that one as weekly. But the database, depending on how often your site changes, you may want to do daily, but you can decide how often you want to do this. If you have a static site, then you could just do it monthly. Okay, over here, how many to maintain. Okay, so we have 2 of each. That'll maintain them in the list. Down here, the parts of the WordPress install that you want to include. So plugins, themes, and uploads. Okay, any other directory found inside WP content. So, and these exclude. You could leave all of this stuff as the defaults, but you can change it if you want. Okay, now down here, we can add some add-ons if we want to use any of these other options, but these options that it gives you right here are just what you need. Okay, if you want reporting sent to you, again, you could check this and download the add-on. Okay, now here's remote storage. Now this is where you decide where your backup's going to go. So you can back it straight to Amazon S3, to your Dropbox, Rackspace, Google Drive, FTP, SFTP, SCP, WebDAV, Bitcase, all of this stuff. But I'm just going to do it to email. Okay, and it's going to send it to your admin email. So you could put a filter in there and just deal with them once they get there if you want to do that. Okay, let's save the changes. All right, now the next scheduled backup is set. Now we can just do a backup now if we want, just by clicking the button. So let's do backup now. Okay, now here you can determine what you want to do. So we can just click backup now unless you want to exclude something. Okay, so this is, as you can see down here, it's doing the backup for us. Okay, so this will give you your first backup, and it's also scheduled to run all by itself every day. So the next day, it's going to run all by itself, and it's going to email you the backup. Okay, so it's as simple as that to have a solution to back up your site. Now, you also can go to existing backups, and here we are. So we have actually different parts here. Okay, so you see here we have plugins, themes, uploads, and others, and we can look at the backup log, and then to restore, we just click restore here. Okay, so it looks like it's still in progress, some of it. Okay, so this is just a log of what it did. Okay, so if something happened to your site and you needed to recover it, you could just do a restore here and everything would get restored for you. Now, of course, that's if you put it into cloud storage. Remember, we emailed this to us, so we can't actually restore from here. If we had to put it in Dropbox or any of the other options, then it would be able to find it for us. Okay, so I logged into my email account that I'm using here, and you see that we got all of these different pieces here, and there's our attachments for each of our databases. So let's click on this one, for instance. And you'll see here that this is the uploads. Let's go back. And this one is the database. Okay, and so on. So it sends all the different parts to us. It looks like we actually ran it twice here, but you get the idea. It has sent us all of the parts to it, to our email. Okay, so that's how you use email. Now, if you're going to use a different storage solution like Dropbox, then it'll be able to retrieve it for you. So let's go back here, and then let's go down and change this from email to Dropbox. Okay, so you can read about Dropbox. It just says that it can upload it in chunks and so on. So we need to save this. Okay, and then we're going to need to go back in there and verify our Dropbox information here. Okay, so we have to authenticate our Dropbox account now. Click in this link. Okay, and then you just sign in with your ID. Allow it. Okay, so it tells us up here that our Dropbox is connected. We have some error messages down here. I'm not sure what those are about, but okay, so let's click back up now. And this time, let's just back up the database. So we'll back up. Okay, so now when we go over to our existing backups, you'll see we have this one here, and it's just a database. Now, if we click on the database, it says it's begun looking for this entity. So it'll find it, and there it is. We can download the database to our computer. We can delete it from our web server, and we can restore over here. This is our backup log. So if you click on that, it just shows you what it did. Okay, so there it is. You have multiple ways that you can back things up on your site using this plugin.